Hello and welcome to Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen, the talk show that spotlights HR professionals and talks about all things HR. Today we're tackling a topic that every organization cares about, but sometimes needs a little help in getting it right, and that is boosting employee morale. From recognition to leadership accountability, we're exploring what it really takes to create a workplace where people don't just show up, they thrive. So we're gonna talk about it today. Joining me is Crystal McAnally, HR manager and strategic business partner. She is going to bring practical experience and insight on sharpening employee morale strategies and strengthening organizational teams. So Crystal, I am so glad you're here today.
Me too. I'm excited to be here.
I am so glad that you are here and we're talking about this topic, employee morale. Now, before we get started, I want to ask you a little bit something. Tell me about your HR journey.
Absolutely. So I have always admired HR business professionals. And when an opening came up within my organization, I applied, interviewed, got the position. I was lucky enough to be paired up with an amazing director who became a mentor and helped me develop the skills that I needed, because I went into HR feeling like everybody deserved to come to a place and work where they feel supported.
Yes.
And so I had that foundation, but I didn't know how to do it. So she helped me figure that out. And now, as we've grown, I have helped others on their journey and helped them broaden their skill sets and get promoted and help them get where they are today.
All right, so you're paying it forward, huh?
Absolutely.
Paying it forward. I love that. Started out in HR, had a mentor, learned the ropes, and then helping others. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Now, you know I'm going to ask you about a fun fact.
Okay.
Tell me something fun about you.
All right. My fun fact is that I'm actually an artist. I love to paint. I paint murals. I paint on canvases. I just love paint. It's my happy place.
All right. Who knew? HR professional that paints. Hey, there could be some type of combination here. It could be. So I'm sure that boosts your morale when you're doing it. All right. So let's talk about this topic, employee morale. So from an HR perspective, what is employee morale? There are many different definitions, but from an HR perspective, what would you say that definition of employee morale is?
Sure. I say it's the pulse point and the climate of an organization.
Okay.
So it's how employees feel about coming to work, about their leadership, and how they feel supported.
How to feel supported and how they feel about coming to work. Do they want to come, getting dressed in the morning? Do they want to come? Do they want to get here? Or are they apprehensive about even showing up?
Absolutely.
So that is a very good definition of employee morale. So we're going to talk about some ways that we can have your employees getting ready, excited about coming to work. Now, usually when there is trouble, there are some warning signs, right?
Absolutely.
So tell us, in your experience, what are some of the early warning signs that morale is slipping in the organization?
Absolutely. I think some of the early warning signs would be things like a lack of participation in meetings, a lack of idea sharing, and silence. So usually silence is the loudest indicator of all.
Yes.
If you've got employees that are no longer bringing their best selves to work and to meetings and their ideas, then you know you've got a morale issue.
So when it becomes, I can't make it to that meeting, that's one excuse. And then the next meeting, I'm not sure if I can make it. I'm in another meeting, I may make it. So that's kind of the signs of something's going wrong, right?
You'll notice those before you see it in metrics.
Yeah, okay. So tell me what some of the common mistakes leaders make in assessing morale. They assess it, right? And some of those big mistakes that they think they're fixing employee morale, but they're really not fixing it at all.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that leaders do when they mistake how to fix morale is they mistake perks for culture.
Okay, tell us about that.
Buying employees things, or even, providing a meal and just having it sit there and they're out and they're just saying, hey, I provided a meal.
Yeah.
When you really need to get to the root of the issue.
Okay.
Because food is not going to mask any kind of inconsistent leadership.
Right.
And then also feeling like morale is all on HR. That's
Yes.
another way that leaders can
Oh
go
my gosh,
wrong.
stop the press. This is so true. Oftentimes you will see companies not blame, but assess their company's culture, and then it's HR's fault that the culture is like that.
Absolutely.
And employee morale. So whose responsibility is it?
Sure.
Whose responsibility is it on employee morale in
It's
organizations?
Every leader in every department at that facility. It is all different levels of leadership. It is managers, supervisors, operations managers. It is everybody. And it's on them to be the embodiment of a company's culture and corporate character, and really kind of convey that to their employees.
Yeah. So it's everybody's. It's everybody's responsibility. And what leaders should do is make that known, that it's everybody's. And we're going to talk more about that. It's everybody's responsibility when it comes to employee morale. So I'm so glad you brought that up, because I have seen that. Our employees, we have low morale. HR, you're not doing whatever you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But if everybody pitches in, everybody will have a piece and have a part of that. So when we're talking about employee morale, it can be low. So how can you distinguish the difference between low morale and just burnout?
Sure. Burnout it deals more with capacity and workload.
Okay.
Low morale is more trust.
Okay.
It's trust, it's not feeling valued or supported.
Yeah. So burnout, you said, is dealing with what?
Workload and capacity.
Workload and capacity. So when that workload changes, then that person's persona changes?
Yeah.
Or their outlook on morale changes?
Yeah. I mean, an employee that is tired, but no longer believes in the location's mission and the leadership, that's morale. If somebody is tired but they still believe in all of those things, that's burnout.
Yeah. Okay. So it's burnout when you're just tired. And so what can a leader do, or what can other employees do to identify that on the front end, and then have a solution, which could be adjusting work times, adjusting workloads, right?
Yeah.
To help turn that situation around. Would you say that's true?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think leaders can talk with their employees, be present, not just in an office. It is out talking with them, engaging with them,
Right.
having a conversation. We want them to build relationships with their employees.
Yeah, so it's collaborative. You know, you're talking to your employees. You're not just sitting in your office, right?
Right.
And even though, as managers, supervisors, directors, we have a lot to do, but you have to make it intentional that you go out and connect with your employees. You connect with them. I tell you what. So I'm going to give you a scenario. You tell me how you fixed it. Have you ever had a team or inherited a team in your years of HR? How many years? 18 or so years of HR?
15.
15 years. Inherited a team that had low morale.
I have. And it wasn't necessarily in HR, it was a different team, but they didn't feel supported and heard. So the first thing I did was have one-on-one meetings. We had conversations. I really listened, and it wasn't listening to check a box, it was active listening.
Mm-hmm.
And so we made a plan on what we were going to do. And once the employees saw that I was following the plan, I was keeping up with them, communicating, then I earned their trust. And once I had their trust, then I earned their respect.
Okay. So individual employee morale plans.
Mm-hmm.
That's new. Individual employee morale plans. That means talking with the employee. I love that idea. Talking with them, finding out, and then making a plan, a strategy around that. And it's not going to be the same for everybody.
Right.
So pizza is not going to fix it.
Nope.
Pizza party's not going to fix it. It's the individual. I love
Yeah.
that. Individual employee morale plans. I love that. Love that. So tell me some more strategies. And I know in your tenure in HR, I know there's been some really good employee boosting situations and activities that organizations that you've been affiliated with have done that have worked wonders.
Yeah.
Tell us about those.
Sure. So some of the things that we've done is have different types of meetings where we communicate the vision and how we're doing, because some people don't know how the location is doing. Leadership should know.
Yes.
But that doesn't always make it down to the frontline employees.
Okay.
So including them in meetings, getting their feedback,
Okay.
and starting to have things that they want to do. So of course we can do employee appreciation events, but I might want pizza.
Yeah, you may want a pizza party. It's not bad.
But not everybody does.
Yes.
They want something different.
Okay.
We've asked employees before, what would you like? We're doing a Christmas lunch. What would you like? And they said, we would like Olive Garden. I never would have thought Olive Garden.
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah.
We're going to do that. And so when employees that suggest that and are like, yes, we should definitely do that. When they see that you do that, you listen to them and followed up, that goes
building
a long
that trust
way.
factor. Building the trust factor. You listen to me and then you delivered based on what I've said.
Yeah.
So employee appreciations are always good, right? And then you said have meetings. And so what about those organizations? They may have part-time or casual employees that, they only come as needed.
Yeah.
So is it advantageous for them to then include them in those meetings? So
Absolutely. They need to
how
hear
do you
the
do
vision.
that? Yeah.
They need to hear the vision. And sometimes it's impossible to get only one meeting.
Yes.
But you can empower your supervisors to do it for different shifts
Yes.
and different times throughout the day.
Yes.
And so that builds their skill set.
Okay.
And they're the front line that the employees see every day, the frontline managers and supervisors. So absolutely, you got to use your team.
Yes.
It can't all be
Okay.
on one person.
Okay. So it can be multiple things going on at one time. It could be, maybe multiple all-staff training days, that you put in there, all-staff training days, and then those smaller things, employee appreciations, employee recognition, some special things that managers do for their own departments, those type things. What's some other things? Give me some others.
Okay, so there's different shifts. So one of the things that I like to do is we like to make food for our employees.
Okay.
So it might be cooking breakfast.
Oh,
So breakfast might
for
hit
employees. Love that.
breakfast might hit third shift and first shift, but it doesn't hit second shift.
Yes.
So we asked second shift, what would you like? Would you like breakfast
Okay.
or do you want something else? And they wanted something else. They
Okay.
didn't want breakfast,
Okay.
which is fine. But if we were to just do breakfast for all,
Yes.
they wouldn't have been happy. They wouldn't
Yes.
have felt heard. They'd be like, oh, I got breakfast and it's at night.
And it's in the night, yeah. So asking, but making your plans based upon the shifts that they come in.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I have seen where, all right, we're going to do this. It's going to be donut day or, donuts for everybody for every shift, right? But I like the idea of asking and then making it specific to that shift.
Yeah, and
I
they've
like
asked
that.
they've asked for sandwiches and grilled cheese. We can do that.
Okay. That can
So,
work,
yeah,
right?
And it goes a long way when
Yeah.
they feel heard
Yeah.
and you provide it.
Heard, shared values, feel heard. Listen, I heard ice cream Fridays.
Okay.
These are simple things, right? I've heard of that.
Yes, we
Yeah.
call it Fun Freezer Friday. And
Fun
so-
Freezer Friday. Tell us about that.
So adults love ice cream.
I do. Can you tell? Yeah.
So we buy a ton of different types of ice cream and fill the freezer. And every Friday during the summer, we have Fun Freezer Friday.
Fun Freezer Friday.
It's my favorite part of the year because it's every Friday during the summer, and it gets hot here, So a lot of our employees are just so excited to come in and have some ice cream, talk with people, because we want to make ourselves available. Leaders should be in there with employees enjoying ice cream, or hey, have you gotten any ice cream yet? I'm going. You want to come with me?
Yeah.
Things
Oh,
like
wow. I love that. I absolutely love that. Freezer Friday.
Fun Freezer Friday.
Fun Freezer Friday. FFF. Yeah, I love that. That can absolutely work.
Yeah.
And it's not the big elaborate
No.
plans. It's the little things that make a difference. It's
Absolutely.
the little things that employees know that, we have them on mind. So we talked about employee morale, and we'll come back to some other employee boosters. But I've often heard that people don't leave organizations, they leave their supervisors, right?
Right.
That's always been something that is said. So how or what role do you think supervisors play in employee morale?
They play a huge role.
Okay. Tell us about it.
They're the day-to-day contact for all the questions that employees have throughout their shift.
Yes.
So while I might be there too, I can't answer a lot of times the exact process to do something, but supervisors can. And if you've got strong supervisors, you don't have a morale issue because they are communicating with their employees and talking to them and, making those employees feel valued.
Okay. So they make the difference.
Absolutely.
They make the difference. That means in their communication, that means in their acts of what they do, how they explain, the tone of voices that they use, and making the employee feel welcomed. So that employee morale has a lot to do with how that supervisor handles that. So how do we hold supervisors and managers accountable for their employee morale? How do we do that?
So I track people metrics just like I do performance metrics.
Okay, tell us about those.
Sure. So is there some kind of trend in turnover in a certain area, a certain shift, certain department, engagement survey scores, things like that, participation in events?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I look at. And then if I see something, I speak up early and talk to supervisors. Hey, I noticed this. Let's talk about an outcome and how can we get there.
Yeah, and so it becomes part of the management assessment of their performance and the overall organizational performance, right? So you said if you see turnover in a certain department often and it's a red flag to something's happening there.
Yeah.
Let's talk to the employees and find out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right, and find out what it is. And so has it often been times it's the supervisor that you found or
during my career, I have seen that for sure. Absolutely. And so when I do, I'm quick to step in because we can't lose employees.
Right. Can't lose employees.
Yeah.
So in what ways do you step in? What do you do with that manager that has a record of, constant employee turnover?
Yeah.
What do you do as the supervisor, as the director, as the CHRO in addressing what we can do with that manager? What are some of the things that can be done?
Yeah. Well, I would treat it just like anything else. Listen first. So I want to listen. I'm going to sit in on a tough conversation that they have with an employee. How do they handle that? I'm going to sit down on reviews, on a weekly performance meeting, things like that. I'm also going to observe and, just day to day, what are the employees doing? How are they feeling? What's going on before I step in and make any kind of recommendations. But then after we have a meeting, we'll talk about, hey, here's some things that I wish we could have said in a different way.
Yeah.
But also role playing before we go into that meeting. My supervisors love it when I get to be them and they get to be the employee.
Yes.
And they really test me, but they learn how to respond in those situations.
Yeah. Learning how to respond instead of reacting, right? It's important to do. So I love that idea of role playing with your supervisors, you being the employee that may have a situation going or, that's quiet now, but you are playing the employee.
I play the supervisor.
You're playing the supervisor, and they get to see how you respond to those different situations.
Absolutely.
Right. So I love that. Hey, you can implement that today. Role play.
So do my supervisor.
Different difficult conversations, difficult situations with your supervisor, so they can see and learn how to respond in those different situations. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. We talked about trust, and talk to us about how trust is probably one of the main elements of boosting employee morale.
Oh yeah. So trust is huge. If your employees feel like you listen to them, that you are going to support them if they ever have any kind of issues, that's trust and respect. And when you have that, I mean, sky's the limit for for everybody.
Yeah.
So trust, if you've lost trust, it's hard to get back. It's not impossible, but it is hard to get back.
Yeah.
So you really got to keep your finger on that one.
Yeah, because it takes longer to get that back
Absolutely.
than it did to break it in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So while we're on it, so let's talk about some ways to build back trust
Absolutely.
with employees. So say, for instance, a bad situation came about. The employee feels like, the supervisor really didn't treat me with respect. They really didn't listen to what I had to say. I just cannot trust them in a situation like this again.
Yeah.
So you, as the supervisor, you have identified something's wrong because some of the things we talked about: disengagement, missing meetings, not wanting to talk, always busy.
Yeah.
So what can a supervisor do? Let's role play.
Oh.
What can a supervisor do? I'm the employee that feels that way. How do you handle this?
Sure. So an employee comes to me and they feel like the supervisor has lost their trust, and I'm the supervisor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first thing I would do is acknowledge, right? Like, there was an issue that occurred, and I'm sorry you felt that way. That was not my intention.
Yes.
Let's talk about what my intention was. My intention was this, and I did not mean to make you feel that way.
Yes.
So then I share what I'm going to do, and then I have to follow through on doing it.
So you have to do
You
it.
have to do it. Whatever you say
Yeah.
you're going to do, you
Do
have
it.
to do it.
You have to do it. Yeah. And there's no mistakes, can't be any excuses,
No.
because building that trust is doing what you said you were going to do.
Absolutely. That's
right,
probably your last chance to do it.
Yeah. And so do you just kind of check in to see what that temperature is like after
yeah.
you've delivered what you've said?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Check in, see what's going on. It doesn't have to be a formal meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It can be something, out on the floor. Hey, how's your day? And how did you feel about this?
Mm-hmm.
And just have conversations, open communication.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love this. See? We did the role play right here on Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen, with Crystal, and she's showing us how to do this. This is wonderful. Now, let's talk about bringing in our senior leaders on this. So if you're the CHRO, or if you're the HR manager, or even if you're a frontline HR professional, how can we make sure we connect with the senior leaders, executive staff, letting them know, hey, I think we have some morale problems, and here's what we're going to do to fix it.
Yeah.
How do we make that partnership? How do we make that important
Absolutely.
to senior leaders?
Yeah. I take that job very seriously. I know that I'm my employees' advocate in meetings that they are not in. And so it's really conveying that message to them that I need them to help and also be involved when it comes to the events that we do, or if we're having any kind of meeting. I need you to be present. I need you to talk to the frontline employees and check the temperature, see what's going on.
Yeah.
They need to hear from you as well.
Yeah.
So it's getting their agreement to be part of everything that you do.
Yeah, getting the buy-in.
Absolutely.
Getting the buy-in and then being willing to be transparent and say, hey, we've done some metrics, we see some things, and we see there's some things we need to fix.
Yeah.
How can we fix them? Sometimes the best people to fix the problem are the ones that do the work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is so important, and how senior leaders and executive leaders can be a part of the employee morale as well. Yeah. So I love that. I love that idea. So let's talk a little bit about, here's a good question. What should leaders stop doing today if they want to improve morale tomorrow?
I think they should stop feeling like they know how their employees feel off the bat.
Okay.
You have to talk to them.
Yes.
You can't just assume that you know what's going on.
Yes.
So it would be to stop acting and start listening.
Stop acting, start listening. You hear that advice? That's what you can do.
Yes.
If you want to fix it today, stop acting, stop assuming, and start listening. I love that. I love that. I love that. So in your career, you've had employees, and what would you hope your employees would say if they look back under your leadership? What do you think your employees would say, or what would you like the legacy to be about your leadership?
That's a great question. What do you want your legacy to be? I feel like I want my employees to feel like the work they did mattered.
Yes.
That they mattered, that they felt supported, and that they grew here.
And that they grew here.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I love that. I love that. This is a true leader who has the people, at heart, right? It's not just the leader, it's not for the money, it's not for that, but it's building relationships, building trust, and keeping that employee wanting to come back.
Absolutely.
Like we talked about at the beginning, I'm getting ready to go to work, it's time to go to work. And want to come and thrive. So thank you so much, Crystal, for coming by today.
Absolutely.
You have enlightened us on employee morale and some of the things that we can do today to make it better for our employees. What? FFF, Fun Freezer Fridays, started today. Wow, what a powerful conversation. Employee morale doesn't improve by accident. It improves by design. It takes leaders who listen, HR professionals who advocate, and cultures that prioritize people. If today's conversation encouraged you, challenged you, or gave you something to think about, share it with another leader. Because when we elevate morale, we elevate performance. Be sure to watch the next episode and new episode of Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen, the first of each month on the YouTube channel of the same name, and on Comcast Xfinity channel 17 and 1091, Monday nights from 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Please note you can watch Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen and prior episodes at any time. Go to YouTube and type in the talk show title. Be sure to subscribe, no fee, and click on the notification bell. This is HR TV. I'm Dr. Deneen, and I want to talk HR with you. HR forever. See you next time.